Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make a quick video or opinion video on The Walking Dead, my absolute favorite TV show as of late. Well, it's been my favorite TV show since the show first started. I wanted to make a quick guessing prediction type of video before season 7 premiere, where we find out who Negan killed. And I'm really excited about this new episode coming this Sunday. Today is the 17th, I believe, and it premieres the 23rd. And I am so crazed about it or whatever. Like, I've been doing all kinds of research and trying to figure out myself who it could be, just like any other super fan out there. But at first, my first guess when the season 6 ended, my first guess on who Negan killed was Abraham. And I say Abraham because, just like everybody else out there that thought Abraham, it was because Abraham is a threat. Could be serve as a threat for Negan, and he could have offed him because he didn't want to have to deal with anything like that. And because when Negan came up to him and pointed the bat at him, or, was talking to him, Abraham kind of straightened up and looked at him like, I can take you, like, bring it on, bad boy, because Abraham has just that attitude. So, of course he's going to stand up to Negan, because to Abraham, Negan ain't crap. So yeah, that's two reasons why I thought it was Abraham. And the third reason why I thought it was Abraham is because to me, he's the strongest out of Rick's group. Like, strength-wise, not mentally, but physically. I think it was him because as Negan was given the bat, Lucille, he made a comment. He said, taking it like a champ. And the only character I could think of that could take it like a champ was Abraham. And as the months went on and everybody was trying to figure out who it was, everybody was talking, everybody was on the edge of their seat, freaking out about who the victim was, I started listening to what everybody else was saying, their opinions, and a lot of the stuff that other people were saying was making a lot of sense. And I have a friend that I work with who is also a super fan. He told me that he thought that maybe there's 2 victims. And he thought at the time that since Abraham is right next to Maggie, who is in a really bad state at the time, he freaks out that Abraham's getting the bat right next to Maggie, and he runs to Maggie trying to get to her to protect her or whatever. And Glenn also gets the bat, or even the pistol, because he moved again. Because Negan said after Glenn did it the first time that he will shut that down immediately if it happened again. And my friend thought that that's what happened was Abraham was originally getting the bat. Glenn jumps over to Maggie to protect her and also gets the bat. And so I went along with that one. I was like, well, maybe it is Abraham and Glenn. And I stayed with that one for a while. And then, like, as time was getting closer and closer to the season premiere, I was really digging into everything, like paying attention to all the released pictures, the trailers, sneak peeks, and such. And I know there's the sneak peek that's going around right now where Rick has a blood splatter on the right side of his face, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's where Maggie and Abraham and all them were." Yeah. Well, I was thinking, in my own opinion, that blood splatter was a little bit too big to be somebody far away. So that kind of, to me, in my opinion, eliminated Michonne, Daryl, and at the time Glenn, like everybody that was farther off, away from Rick. And I was thinking closer to Abraham and Maggie. But then I was thinking about what everybody was saying about Negan not killing women or children. So I was like, well, Maggie's pregnant and she's really weak. So it just, I don't think Negan would kill her. And then I was like, well, maybe it is Abraham after all, because Denise took Abraham's original death from the comic. So what's more reason for Abraham to steal Glenn's original death from the comic? Because a lot of the times the creators of The Walking Dead is not going exactly by the comic. Like, they use bits and pieces of the comic, but they're not using every single bit of it. Like, there's parts that's different. Like, for example, Rashon, that doesn't happen in the comics. Actually, Rick and Andrea gets together in the comics, and Michonne and Ezekiel get together in the comics. So that's totally different. So they could just switch it up for the people who have read the comics, because, you know, they don't want it to be predictable for those people. If it happens like exact, then the people who's read the comics already knows what's going to happen. They're not going to be as interested in the show. So, I mean, to keep the show going and interesting, they could, you know, switch out deaths, take out certain deaths, give them to another character. So I think that Abraham did indeed get Glenn's death. Or he was getting Glenn's death, and Glenn also got his death because he ran over there to Maggie. And another thing that I noticed, or that a lot of people notice, actually, the super fans out there who want to just pay attention to every single detail, in the sneak peek where after Negan drags Rick into the RV, it zooms out onto the Bastion head. And I decided to pause it, and I was really looking at the Bastion head to see if I could see any particular details that everybody else missed. Well, I did see what everybody was talking about, the jewelry that's off to the side that everybody was saying is either a ring or a pocket watch. Well, I got to really looking, and at first, yes, I thought it was a ring, but I was like, upon closer examination of as it was paused, I saw that it resembled more of a pocket watch, because I saw the piece that that you can wind the hands with, and then I saw the piece where, like, the hinge on the off to the side where you open the pocket watch. And I was like, because a ring, because at first everybody thought, you know, the part that you wind was the top of the ring, like mine. And, you know, nothing much else was said because it looked more like a ring to everybody else. But when I looked, I saw the hinge where you open the pocket watch up, the part that helps it open up, and plus the winding tool. So I'm convinced that it's Glenn because of the pocket watch. Also, I think it's Glenn because when I looked down towards the bottom of the screen, while it was still paused, I saw pieces of black hair. And Glenn has black hair. So if you go back and look at that particular spot and look down towards the bottom of the screen, because that's where it's at, is black hair. Because I was looking for black hair, or I wasn't just looking for black hair. I was looking for if I could see hair, if I could see pieces of clothing, or anything like that that everybody seemed to have missed or not paid much attention to. But I saw black hair. So if y'all haven't noticed that part yet, go back and look and you will see black hair. So I'm convinced that yes, it was Glenn indeed. That I'm thinking now that it was just him. And he did indeed get his original death. But at the same time, I still kind of think that Abraham got killed as well. Because I don't think that Glenn would take it like a champ. I think Glenn would automatically get knocked out if he got hit. Because he's a tiny dude. So he don't have that much strength about him. But Abraham, on the other hand, he does. So if he was to get hit, he could, still be sitting up. It would take more to knock him out. So I'm convinced that it is indeed Abraham and Glenn. And I'm so excited for the premiere on Sunday on the 23rd. And I will probably make a follow-up video about a reaction, like my reaction on who actually got Lucille. So this is just my opinion. This is my prediction, my own thoughts. So please don't hate me because of what I'm saying. And yeah, catch you guys later.